So in this video, I want to go over some features of your textbook, your interactive textbook. So for your ENGL 101 class, you'll be using a Flat Earth Scott McLean Introduction to English Composition textbook. So basically you go into modules and then you can go to expectations and readings, and that way you can access your readings for the week for your quiz. And so basically I want to go over a few study skills tips for you for this week to help you study for your weekly, for your quizzes in this class. So what you're going to do is, first of all, I want to show you the features of your textbook. So I'm going to share and I will go to the textbook. I believe that's it. Yes. So this is your textbook. So you can, if you click on say 1.1, you're able to see your chapters, and each chapter has what is expository writing. You can click on this link and then it will give you an expanded definition. And then here you have, in college you will read a wide variety of materials, and then here you have all of the different kinds of materials that you're going to read in college. And then every time you click on another chapter, say 1.2, another chapter will appear. And you get to go over and you have to read all of it, everything. So everything that you have in your textbook comes in, I believe the whole thing is just 30 pages, all right? And so that's not what I wanted to show you, but first I wanted to show you the navigation and then the neat trick. Okay, this is the part I made the video for. Click on self-study. And I'm not sure if I gave it a separate or a different video on this. I get the feeling I did this video already, but I can't seem to remember. Anyway, that's okay. So here you have something called, it has what is free writing. So you flip it over, and free writing is a pre-writing strategy in which writers write freely about any topic for a set amount of time. And then here you can press test and practice and test and practice. And then you keep going to the next one and the next one. And okay, so this particular chapter only has one word, all right? But basically, if I were to go to another chapter, let's say if I go to the table of contents, and let's go to rhetorical modes. And I go to next. And so here you have different kinds of writing. And each chapter has its own list of words. So let's say after you read this chapter, okay, and I wanna know like what's gonna be on my quiz. So then you go to self-study, and then here you have all the different words, like what is a plot? You flip it over, it is the events as they unfold in sequence. Then the next, what is a factual story? You flip it, it's a story based on and faithful to actual events as they happen in real life. Then you flip again, what's narrative writing? And narrative writing is the art of telling stories. And then next, what is chronological order? Then you flip it, it's a method of organization that arranges ideas according to time. Okay, what is a theme? You flip it, the ultimate message a narrative is trying to express. It can be either explicit or implicit. And so what you do is that you are going to then write down all of these words on index cards. And then you're going to put the definition of the index, you're going to put the word, like free writing, on this side. Then you're going to put the definition. Free writing means that you can write for as long as you want for a set amount of time. Then, whenever you're sitting at the doctor's office or you're on a bus on your way to work, you can look over your index cards to learn the vocabulary that's for the quizzes, okay? As well as all the different, so let's go back to the handy dandy. So that's what I like about the self-study. What is a protagonist? And you flip. So use the definitions that are in this flip in order to learn what it is, rhetorical modes, the ways in which we can effectively communicate through language, what are characters, the people who inhabit the story and move it forward, what is a fictional story, and you flip it, it's a made up or imagined story. What is conflict? It is the primary props. And all of these words are the words that are in this particular, see, we just went through plot, characters, theme, and it all shows up on these words. Conflict, whoa, look at that, conflict and conflict. So all of the words that are in these cards are the words that are bolded and underlined for that particular chapter. Each chapter will have a different set of index cards. That's what it is. And so write down every single word onto your own index card. Sometimes low tech is the best. That's how I would study for the quizzes that you have for, at least for the definitions. And so that's what I was talking about when I was, and here you restart it, it starts, so here you have a set of 10 words, okay? It will tell you how many of them per, and then if you want to study, that's how you do it. All right, and so that's what's so fun about it. Then you go back to table of contents in order to access other chapters. If you click on number 7, and then it will get, I'm just clicking randomly, okay, at random, and then 7.2, developing a research proposal, for instance. Then you can go to self-study again, and you can flip. Here you have about 5 words, see, about 5 different words that are on this, and then it will test you on what words to learn for that chapter. So the self-study, I find the self-study function to be very helpful in helping you learn, at least learn the words or the vocabulary to each of these chapters. And then you can also create, with ChatGPT, you can create a study guide. And then you could, if for example, you have a textbook and there's a lot of bolded words, just like this textbook, you can put all of the words into ChatGPT and then have ChatGPT define the words in very simple English. Now for this class, that's not really necessary since the definitions for this class is already in simple English. But let's say you're in your chemistry class and you don't understand a certain chemistry word. Well, then you can put that word in ChatGPT and then put the word prompt. What does the word enzymes mean? Then you would say, explain the word enzymes, definition of the word enzymes in simple English that a 5-year-old would understand, that a 3rd grader would understand, that a middle school person would understand, that a high school student would understand, and give examples that relate to my life. Also state, I am a nurse, and give examples of what this word means that relates to my life. And then press enter, and ChatGPT will give you an example of what that word means as it relates to your life. An example of that example was a 5-paragraph essay structure. And now for English 101, you're thinking, well, after I finish English 101, I never have to think about a 5-paragraph essay structure ever again. So what I did was I entered into ChatGPT, how can I make this English class more relatable to the students' life so that they don't fall asleep learning all this stuff? And if I can make it relatable to what they do every day, what students do every day, that will make the class so much more meaningful for the students. So I put in the words 5-paragraph essay structure and into ChatGPT, and lo and behold, it said that the 5-paragraph essay structure is just like the charting that you nursing students do every day. Now, I don't know anything about nursing, but apparently ChatGPT would get the information from the net. And so it says that according to ChatGPT, the introduction part of an essay is similar to when you first write in the patient's name, age, and what their medical condition is when you first do the intake. Then the body paragraphs is similar to when you talk in detail, what exactly is wrong with him? Oh, he has asthma and he wheezes at night. He coughs all the time. He has chest pains and he's coming into the ER because his chest hurts so much that his cough, he's spitting up something green and he's like totally, alarmed by that. And he's getting thinner and thinner and weaker. So it's your body paragraph is like the description of what's wrong with him, not just simply asthma or whatever. Then the conclusion would be similar to when the doctor says, you need to take 2 aspirins and see me in the morning. And then you're still in the conclusion when the patient goes, huh? And then the nurse comes in and says, okay, the doctor wants you to drink some water, take a pill of aspirin, and then go to sleep, wake up in the morning, and you'll be fine. Something like that. That's when the nurse explains to the patient what to do. So that becomes the summary of the whole thing. And so that is how the 5-paragraph essay structure with the introduction, body paragraphs, and conclusion is similar to charting. And because everything in English, whatever it is we write, has an introduction, has a body, and has a conclusion. A beginning, a middle, and an end. And so you can use ChatGPT to relate what you learn, all of those vocabulary words that I just showed you in the self-study from the textbook. You can ask ChatGPT, how can I relate those words to my life? And this will help you learn those words and remember those words. It's not as much for this class as it is for things like chemistry, biology, where the words seem way more foreign, abstract, difficult, and complicated. But it is a good study tip, since that for all of your classes, you have to memorize a lot of vocabulary for a lot of quizzes. So that is my study tip for this video, is how to memorize what you learn in those, not just the vocabulary words, but also any kind of complicated theory. And then you put it down on good old-fashioned index cards in case you can't see it. You can get that. I got this for like $5 at Ralph's. And so here you have the index cards. And good old-fashioned low-tech is the best way. That's how I studied my Psych 101. I took Psych 101 in college, and I had to memorize 20, 30, 40 words per chapter. And so therefore, index cards became my best friend. So that when I was in the car, and actually I took the bus to work. So when it gave you the example of studying index cards while on my way to school or work on the bus, that was me. I was the one studying. And that's how I got through Psych 101. I think I got a B+ or something like that. I actually liked the class, but I preferred English and literature. So I almost became a psychology major. That's why I was taking a lot of psych classes. Almost became a therapist. Anyway, so if you have any other questions, and you could still use the study guide. I'm told by some of the students that the study guide is still actually useful. Like one student said, no, the study guide is totally different from the quizzes, but other students tell me that the study guide helped them. So that's up to you. I think the study guide is great for giving you a sample questions of what the quiz would be like, even though it's not the exact same quiz questions. So some of them are the same. I'd say about 50-50, that sort of thing. But it does give you an idea of what it is to study for and what kind of questions are on the quiz. So if you have any other questions, feel free to email me at any time. And if you like this video, feel free to subscribe to the Professor H Writing channel. I actually do like the textbook they have. Very interactive.